Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we're back with our second live stream of January. Yes, we are using our new broadcasting software along with our old broadcasting software. I want to verify that I'm being heard, so I'm listening on an iPad. But it takes 30 seconds for the sound to get to it. So if you see me or if you hear me doubling my voice, that'll be the reason. As others are being alerted that I am live, I'll give it a chance to alert everyone. And I can practice some of the additional screens I have. Of course, we would appreciate if you would do this. Yes, I've got that video finally added to the stream with the new software. Trying to, as they say, do better this time. So just I Thank God by Maverick City. I'll have to listen to it. I don't know that song. But we do have two songs on the viewer request list. Wow, it took that long for it to get to my iPad. Okay, but I can hear me, which is good. So let's turn that volume minimal. Yes, I can pull up I Thank God by Maverick City. The two songs that we have on our docket from our viewers. This is the Day by Fred Hammond. And it says in B. I think there must have been a mistake because it's a small b in the comment, which means they may have missed the letter. We'll see. And Grateful by Hezekiah Walker in A flat. Okay, I believe I sent a link to that video to this gentleman because I do have Grateful in the key of A flat by Hez Walker on the site. I often have to keep a reminder out there that there are over 500 videos by viewers on the channel already. If you do a search using the search engine and just type in the name of the title of the song, it may just come up. Now, some songs have been requested in not the correct key, so those are on there too. You have to maybe see if they have two or three different versions. But if there's a request of a particular song in a different key, for the most part, I believe it's because they want to learn it for the skill set of the choir vocals that they're working with. Welcome, Robert. Yes, I have a much bigger comment screen now to look at, so yeah, I won't miss any more comments. I can actually change the size of it with this software I'm using. So we're going to look at the first Fred Hammond. This is the Day. I know it's in F. I'm trying to see what key would they have wanted it in. No, I had to leave that one alone since they said, and I'm sure they didn't want it in B major, so there was a typo there. I'll just have to get clarification. The second song, because we only have two, is let me see. This was on the last live stream. Can you do Blessed Assurance, Dallas Mass Choir? That was on the last stream. I did cut and paste that and put that on my list. Did YouTube come after me for the songs that I played on my last live? They sure did, because I put it in the not on the last live. On the last post I did the Hezekiah Walker song, and I said, let me see if they'll come after me if I play some of it in the very beginning of my stream, and they did. Not a bad one. They just said you can't monetize this video because this video is not allowed to be played in different countries. But for some reason, they didn't come after it when I was playing with the song in the video. So we'll see how we can work around that. Sometimes they give you trapdoors. So let me go pull up Blessed Assurance, Dallas Mass Choir. I've never heard that one before. Give me a chance to... Blessed Assurance. I'll go on mute while I listen to it. Let's change our point of view, you might say, because I do have two different. There we go. To this screen. Okay. Let me go on mute so I can hear what the song sounds like. Take that off the keys. And I'll be right back. All right, I did hear some of the song. It's in the key of A flat. Let's change our Accordi app to register A flat. Just in hearing the actual beginning of the song, I can hear that it is in a... I always try to picture what style do they place these gospel songs under. So this one has a rock feel. Let me see. Yeah. All right. Let me listen to a song. Okay, so I can't play the music because I'm going to try to stay correct with the YouTube. But they're doing Blessed Assurance. Now they're using, I'll call these R and B chords. So those are the first set of chords. The 2, 3, 6, 2. Now, the issue I have with the number system is that it's great for the bass player's note, but to associate the chords with that is always going to be an issue. So I always look at the song as, from a melody standpoint, in the context of the scale, where is the melody starting? That's the Blessed Assurance in unison. But in that Blessed Assurance, they're using a 2 chord. means your ears have to be tuned to hearing changes not just in your right hand, but in your left hand. Let me see, over the fortress of glory divine. It's a 5. The turning chord, which is D6. Now again, the 6 is normally this, but this is the turn chord, the passing tone in the 6. Let me see. Born of his spirit. Glory divine, I believe. I believe that's what I heard. Again, I'm hearing it for the first time, and as I often say, sometimes songwriters write songs, and sometimes musicians write songs. When a musician writes a song, they add the choir in after they do the music. When a songwriter writes a song, they add in the music after the song has been scripted out. I'm just doing some housekeeping here on the OBS. All right. I want to make sure that I don't miss anyone. Also, I want to welcome those who are simulcasting from my Facebook page. Welcome also. If you want to have a comment or a suggestion, you're welcome to come to the YouTube channel and become a part of the chat. So let me listen some more. In fact, let me let you hear some of it so that you can hear what I'm listening to. So you can see that I'm getting my chords from the scale. Okay, we just keyed it in. Let's back up to where it started. I think this is where we are. Fair use. Okay, why didn't that come over? Oh, you know what? I know why it didn't come over. Okay. Try to get 5 seconds in it. So I had to stop it there, and I played with it so I can probably defeat, hopefully, the AI. Born of his spirit and glory divine. Let's see if I can get that in there. No, it's one. Now these chords are part of the contemporary sound. If you came up with as I did as a youngster, when all these songs began to borrow, they didn't create them. They borrowed them from other songs that had this walking or this passing tone. If you want to get to the 4 or the 2, yeah, 6 to the 2. another way of getting there. Born of his spirit and glory divine. Not a natural chord you would find in a gospel song, which is why they can borrow. That's all it is. It's the same as doing. And I'll call those some of the Hawkins chords because those are the chords that you would hear in the early Hawkins songs. All right. Just check the comments. Oh, thank you again for the generous super chat. You guys don't know what you're doing to make an older guy feel that he's doing something that is appreciated. Why am I getting insects? Big fan. When I was younger, I found a video of you teaching the basics of an amazing organ. Oh, thank you for that. I for the past 18 years, 19 years now, coming September, being on Sound of Joy. Unless I get a comment, I never know who I'm helping. So it's always a welcome bit of news when I get a comment that a musician was able to surpass where they were because something I shared openly gave them that advantage. I think it's still noted in today's world. Musicians hide what they do. As you can see, I'm probably one of the first on YouTube because I was here in 2006 before everyone else came about and started their channel, who had a camera, overhead camera, showing you where my fingers are when I'm playing a chord or if I'm doing a run. Because I can remember, and I've often said this as a youngster, the older musicians would either stop playing or hide their hands so that I couldn't see what they were doing. When I would just ask a question, how did you do that? So I appreciate that. Just a chaplain's advanced protocol. Goodness, that's a long title. So this is the song that one of the songs we're breaking down for a viewer from our last chat. He wanted me to cover this song. Let's see what else is happening in the song. I'm going to change the sound path because I'm sure I've triggered an AI somewhere in the YouTube world. We go on mute while I hear what I'm going to play along with it just to show you the chords also. Be right back. Okay, so this is my story. What was that chord? This is my story. 1, 3, 4. This is my song. There it is to go to the 6. So these chords are of a R&B family. This is my song. So you're in the 3, but you're here in the 3, but then you throw this tritone chord in there to change it, which helps you go from the 3 to the 6, or from the C to the F, or in the circle of fourths, the C to the F is a natural move for the circle of fourths. Now you're back in the F minor. Now, of course, this doesn't have to be an F minor. It can be this chord, which is the, I'll call it the substituted R&B chord. All the day long. This is the 5, but in the 5, you see you've got a 4 chord. It's the tone. Again, the number system always, when I talk to it, I have to give a disclaimer. I never learned to play using the number system. I did not know of the number system until I got to YouTube and people started talking about, oh, this is how you play the song. Play the 4, play the 5, and the 6. And I'm going, wait a minute. But those chords are not the ones that would match that number. This is a 5, but this is the chord that's being used in the song until you resolve it. Now it can become a 5 chord. This is my story. This is my song. Again, back to the 6. Savior, all the day long turned. So that's what the song is doing. So I'm gonna let you hear some of that fair use, just so you can see if I got it right. Let's remap the sound. Okay, here we go. This is my story. This is my song. Praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story. This is my song. That G flat is traditional in the when the actual big band sound of choirs came out. The Chicago Mass, Mississippi Mass, Georgia Mass all had that. All the day long. All right, so let's see if there's a vamp coming. Just check my comments. Welcome Nathan. Welcome Dre Drizzle. Oh, this is the Dallas Mass Choir. Dallas Fort Worth Mass Choir singing Blessed Assurance. This was one of the viewer requests that came up in the last live I was already closing down the live when this one came up, so I copied it and pasted it to my listing of songs. So let's gonna listen to see what's coming up next, because it's only halfway through the song, and usually when a hymn is being repurposed in a song like this, there's a special what they call a vamp or a special turn placed on it. So that's what I'm going to be listening for now, because most of the chords I've shared are in that traditional family. Just all the day long. So those are what I like to call the bass line chords. You're always going to hear those chords in the song. It's just a matter of how the musicians are manipulating the notes. That's what your scale practice to be able to take advantage of. Like that. So let me go on mute and hear what's coming up next. Be right back. All right, so I'll let you hear what's happening there. It's the it's the changeover that I kind of figured was coming. So I'll let you hear what I'm hearing and how I'm putting it together. Here we go. So yes, I am ad-libbing on that because I see the pattern. They're doing the 3, 2, 3, 4, turning on the 3, 6, 7, 1, and then back to the 3. No, the 6. There it is. 2, 3, 4. Turn on the 3. 6, 7, 1, 6. There it is. I'm looking at the bass for the numbers. Now you can do these chords here to extend it. There it is. look for the scales. So basic. That's your pattern. 2, 3, 4, flat 6, 6, 7, 1, and repeat. And then you can find all the chords in between you can change. Minor. Anyway, now again, that's how I expand and begin to flip the chords. Once I hit a pattern, I'm like, well, where else could I take it? All right, so I think that is 2/3 of the way through the song. Let me hear where the rest of it is going. I'll let you hear some of it right now, just to see what I'm So that's going to be the vamp. That's the ending of the song. It's about 30 seconds left. So for the viewer, I believe it was Quincy Fox, that is your breakdown. Again, I always try to give a little more because I always try to, first of all, sound like the album. That's learning the chords that the originator of the album used, and then expand on that by pulling in everything that I've stored up from playing all different styles of gospel music and jazz too, because again, I can hear the changes of where they hear and go up a little classical with a diminished chord. This is what the joy of music, sound of joy, is why I picked that company name. Because when I'm playing, I'm not just playing to just fulfill a need for a choir. I'm playing to the enjoyment of, look at what I can do with this music that has been put in front of me. And it doesn't matter what the song is. Does that matter what the song is? Once I get comfortable, I know the pattern, I know where it's going, then I'm free to just roam all the way across whatever amount of keys that I have in front of me. Let me go back to the live view so that I can talk with those that are here. We go. All right. So that's the one song. I still have the, hey, 28, welcome. Our musician, contributor, and viewer from Austria. Please forgive me for not acknowledging the issues that are happening here in the United States, not just with the cold and with the snow in our southern states and middle of the country, but certainly the fires which are still burning in Los Angeles, and the loss of life and property and the displacement of thousands of people. Sometimes we don't know when calamities will come our way, so we pray for those and we try to help if we can with the correct agencies to assist those with seeking out their next path in life. When your home no longer stands, where do you go from there? So I think music has always been that catalyst that says, where if we can soothe you with a sound, with a tone, either lyrics and music that can help get you through the turmoils of life, the music has to stand up and take its place. So not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but there will be some support coming from Sound of Joy, because who knows if some of those people who have been displaced are viewers who will no longer have access to what I've been sharing. So we try to be conscious of those and keep those who do view us, conscious. Thank you again. Let me just scroll back down. Chaplains Advance for your support to the channel. I can do this. Let me see what this does. Okay, I put a star by your comment. I'm not sure what that did on the chat, but that's just to highlight you. And thank you. Let's see. There was a request for. Can you play "I Thank God" by Maverick City? Now, I'm not familiar with that song, but you see, what it is that I do is I listen to the song and then I break it down. So let me change my sound mapping, which I just did, and let me pull up "I Thank God" by Maverick City, and let's see what it sounds like. I'll listen to it first. I'm pretty sure I'm on YouTube's radar right now. Let me go on mute for a second. All right, so this is one of the more easier songs to learn. "I Thank God" by Maverick City. It is the CCM style, which means this is where the number system is king, where you're not really doing all the movement that you would normally hear in a Pentecostal gospel style song. You just have to place the chords in their position. Key of D flat is where the song is found. And as I was listening to it, I was listening to hear the pattern, because once you know that it's in the number system, how are they starting? Which pattern are they starting? Are they starting in the 4? Are they starting in the 5? Are they starting in the 6? Or are they starting in the 1? This song started in the 1. So let me go back on mute, start it over again, and I will give you the pattern. Be right back. All right, so the pattern is in the 1, and they're here for a little while. Then the next pattern is going to take you to the 4, and back to the 1. And you're going to hear this movement to the 4, back to the 1. Now the next pattern is the 5, the 6, to the 4, to the 5, the 6, to the 4, and then I think they went from the 1 to the 2, to the 3, 4. I believe that's the pattern that they took, or the path that they took. The 6, 4, and then the 1. So let me go back and verify that change over, because they just walked it up some chords. Be right back. All right, so that's the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 4, 1. So again, these type of songs are what I like to call pattern friendly. You're not worried about doing. You're not worried about that. You're just gonna stay in the pattern. 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, 5, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 6, 4. You give a little bit of emphasis because that's how the song is written, and then you're back in the 1. Not sure how much more. Let me just listen to the song, make sure there are no changes, because I've only heard the first minute and a half of an 8-minute video, and I hate when the songs are that long, because it's just it's going to be repetitive chords. Hopefully they'll change key. So, but let me go and listen to the rest. Let me acknowledge Brother Mitchell being here, and MO Music Academy. Welcome. I think I've never seen your name come up, so welcome. Sam Tober, Sound of Joy Music Services. Remember, I'm looking at this camera. So welcome. Breaking down a song for one of our viewers, the I Thank God by Maverick City. Let me go on mute while I listen to any changes coming up. Be right back. want to let you hear. That's the change I was looking for. They went to unison, but they added the 6, 4, and then the 1 chord while they're singing in unison. I'll let you hear what that is because I can hear it, but I want you to see what I'm listen to what I'm hearing. So back it up a little bit. Let's see if we can catch it. So what happens with these type of songs is it becomes infectious. Basically, it becomes very repetitive. So you begin to add some music behind it in the same format of the 1, 6, 4, back to the 6, with the melody which is based on the major scale. And you will find that when you have the major scale as part of your melody, you're open to any chord that you want to put in there. You can go. I'm just throwing in chords indiscriminately that will support that melody line. It's that easy, but you first must acknowledge that those chords are there, tritones, flat sevens, to support any melody line that you're using. Now, this song does not have those chords, but if I were rewriting it, I would definitely put those chords because there's such a emptiness of, or I should say emptiness, a lack of additional support chords to support unison singing. When it's in harmony, then you got to fight. You got to follow the structure of the harmony. But just with the straight unison, let me see. And this is not to mess up the song for the viewer who requested it, but I always like to give an example of when you're playing freehand, you allow your mind musically to take you where you wouldn't normally go in a morning service. So these are the chords that popped into my head when I was listening to the melody. As I say, this is a long song, and of course they repeat so many of their parts. I'm going to listen to see if there is another change coming up so that I can cover the song adequately for the viewer who requested it. We could put the song on a different path and go on. right, so there's a lot happening in the video. So I was watching to see what they were doing. They basically just holding at the this part of the video, just holding it right here. Sus, right? Yes. That sus sound. If you play chopsticks, that's where that's coming from. Let's see. There it is. Scales are such a beautiful way to learn where chords are constructed and built from. All right, so that's all we're going to cover on that song. Let me get back to the chat. So we can have some conversation. All right. Take up my headphones. Can you teach jazz chords? You can add in the gospel. And I've had this, I've actually covered this on a series on my YouTube channel. Gospel is jazz. For those who want to get emotional about it and start looking at the conversation that the jazz came out of the church. Yes, Chat GPT did because I went to Chat GPT to get my own understanding from a unbiased nature. It says yes, a lot of the R&B sounds came from the church sound, but in my era, when I started, the church sound was hymns, spirituals, and anthems. I didn't hear any jazz being played. It wasn't until I heard other recordings, albums, I should say, all the radio, and of course being in a jazz band in high school. I was a mellophone player in a jazz band. That's where I picked up all of my chord tones that had the big band sound, which I imported into playing spirituals in the hymns and traditional, what we call testimony service, which is basically just call and response songs. I introduced those from my perspective as a young musician. I did not recognize jazz and R&B in the church in my era, and I'm going back to the early 70s. I'll say yes, early 70s, because I didn't start playing in the church until 1973. But I've been involved in church with my father, who was a musician for the church. He didn't play jazz. His chords, I thought, were comparable to what the album was calling for in the song, the early gospel songs. He didn't play anthems that well because they had the professional piano. Well, they were professional piano players who played the anthems because they read the sheet music. So, can I teach jazz chords? You can add in gospel. I have an entire series. Is it jazz or is it gospel? Which covered a lot of those chords you saw me adding. Just want to go back a little bit in the chat for when MO Music came in. Watching from Kenya. All right. From the continent, not the country, but the continent of Africa. Thank you from Kenya. As I say, we reach around the world, Austria to the continent of Africa. The song I was just playing was I Thank God by Maverick City. That was one of the requests from the chat. And then, let's see, C sharp, D flat, please. Have you done a tutorial? All in his hands. I put it all in his hands. All in his hands. I think I did. Let me go to my channel and see. Unanswered questions. I put it all. Yes, I put it all. I think I did do that one. I put it all in his hands. All in. Go to the search engine. Uh-oh. It's not there? Thought I remember doing that song. No, it's not there. I know the song. You just try searching it way. All in. It's 19 videos under those 2 words. Because as you put in different words, the videos pop up that have those keywords in it. No, all in his hands are not on. No, that has never been requested. Walter Hawkins and other artists in the 90s were influenced by jazz chords like 7th, 9th, 13th chords, Thomas Whitfield in the 80s. And I learned all of those chords as those songs were introduced to me by my music director when she gave me an album, or rather a cassette, or told me to go buy an album. And I learned, and I had to listen to those songs again without the assistance of anyone. I would put my ear into the speaker, so to speak, and then go to the piano and try to hum those chords so I can learn those particular songs. Alvin J., I'm going to look at your request. Can you teach jazz chords you can add in gospel? I'll give you my limited jazz approach to, because I'm not a jazz musician. I often say I'm a good church musician, which means if you put something church-wise in front of me, I can play it and then embellish what I'm playing. So I'm not great. I am good. The great players, you put sheet music in front of them or a chart, and they can read the chart and be fluent in it. So I'm not that level. I was good for every church and the different denominations that I played in. So we're going to look at this, your question, jazz chords you can add in gospel songs. Now you have to pick the gospel song. Well, you mentioned All in His Hands, so I'll go there because that has a lot of jazz chords in it. Let's change my point of view back to now. You mentioned D flat. All in His Hands, I believe, is done in B flat, but I'll go to D flat since you mentioned that key because that may be a comfortable key for you. All in His hands, I put it all in His hands. All of my problems, all of my questions, problems, misunderstandings, those are correct words. D flat. You're going to need the jazz minor scale for this song. It's in the jazz minor. I put it on D, A flat. On every question, I put it. Yes, I put it all. I put it all in His hand. So that is the crust of All in His Hands. Jazz minor. I put. Now it ends in a major. A D7. Question. These are the jazz chords. Now, some may say if you add a tritone to a chord, that's a jazz chord. That I will agree with. You see, I have to have the lowest note, which is the number system bass, the 3, 4, 4 plus 5, 5. There it is. 3, 4, 5, 7, 1. And you have the ascending bass notes, the descending chords, which is the choir voicing. Yes, I put it all. What was it else in that song? Oh, no matter whatever the problem, he can solve. I put it all. No matter how great or small, he's the answer. He's the answer to them all. To he's the answer to them all. Now the chords are now escaping me again. I never played this song, but I've heard it in the past. Maybe I should just bring it up. I should bring it up on the YouTube channel. Why guess at it when I can pull this song up in the correct key, of course. All in his hands. All in his hands. I put it all in his hands. I always want to find the original one. That's the remix. I want the original. All these remixes, I want the original. Because this goes back in time, so you're always going to have... Ah, there it is. Florida Mass Choir. That's the original. Let me go on mute a second. Ooh, excuse me. Didn't have my microphone on, so I didn't want you to hear that. So as you can hear, that song that's the Pentecostal sound of that era. This is the Florida Mass Choir. As I said, there was a lot of mass choirs back in my day that came out with songs that were sort of call and response choir songs. All in his hand. I put it all in his hand. This is a gospel. This is a jazz. Which jazz scale is that? That is a jazz scale. I'm trying to remember. Again, I've got to get my book out or go back and listen to other instructors teach it. That is a jazz scale. Pentatonic, I believe. The jazz pentatonic scale. But there's this note in there. Give it a different name. It's not the bebop scale. That's the bebop jazz scale. That is one of the pentatonic scales, but this note in it gave it a different name. There's jazz all over this song. So we just did whatever, no matter how great or small. That's where I was stuck at. No matter how great. No matter how great or small, in excess of it all. That's again. Once I got to the right key, all of a sudden now my memory kicked in. No matter how great or small, he's the master of it all. This chord, and I'll let you hear that because I think that's coming up. Are we still keyed in? I think we are. Let's see. And that. Here it is. So, yes, if you learned these songs without an instructor, as many of us did, we were, some guys would just not do all the movement. I had to do every part of it because I wanted to feel like I was in the actual recording. So when you saw me do, he's a master of it all. And just your jazz tones. Jazz all over the place. There's not much left in that song, I don't think. Welcome, Smooth Keys. This is the new look. I don't think you were on our first test run of the new software. It's in B-flat Florida Mass version. Okay, never heard this 2/6 until gospel music R&B started using them chords later. Boys to Men, Jagged Edge. Whoa. If you listen to, again, because I came up within an actual jazz band, I heard those chords in the jazz band before I heard them in my in my local church, or before any of those artists, Boys to Men or Jack, before they were even in existence. I heard those chords when I was in jazz band, learning. What song did we learn? Oh goodness, I don't even have the sheet music in front of me. But I was doing the big band chords like this. Let me see. My music instructor, who wasn't a piano player, but he showed me one thing on the piano because I wanted to low. He used to do this. And he said, "Okay, that's it. You're not here to play piano." He just showed me that one thing. I went home and I started practicing that. And I said, "You know what? I got to get that right because I like when he does that." That was enough to get me hooked on being able to hear everything that I possibly could from music. Oh, you mean Thomas Whitfield? Thomas, I mean, he got them chords in school or something. Yeah, Thomas Whitfield he wasn't the originator of the jazz sound in gospel music, but he was fortunate to come around the time he did when it was allowed to be played in a traditional church. Again, no one liked Andre Crouch's chords in his songs because he was using jazz chords also. And I came around as a youngster when they were not. You couldn't even sing "Oh Happy Day" in my church. I had an old pastor. He was in his 70s when I got the opportunity to start playing. He wouldn't allow any of the Hawkins songs to be played in his church. So, but now "Oh Happy Day" is like the national gospel song all around the world. But in my church back in the 70s, we tried to do one Hawkins song, sneaking in there doing an offertory, and he stopped the song while we were singing it and said, "Don't ever sing that song in my church again." Now this is the old school Pentecostal church too. They had rules. They had gatekeepers. I'm sorry, I'm looking at all the comments that I missed. Yes, Mike was muted. I saw that when I wasn't seeing it, I unmuted it. Welcome, Bruce. Can you please do another recording on how to record on MOF? I don't have the F8. I have the X, which is the first model. Also, can you play those files recorded on keyboard on a flash drive? I want to say the X model does have the flash drive because I have downloaded files into it from a flash drive. So yes, on the flash drive. But I have the MOX, not the MOF. The F came later, the more sophisticated version. Okay, well, what's happening, jazz band? I have attended, never. Okay. Let me turn my point of view to the comments because sometimes I can get caught up in music and stay there for a while. Okay. Let me look at my comments. I don't want to leave anyone out. Okay, Florida Master Charles Hayes did it. You're muted, covered that. That's what I needed. The balance between the choir voices. Okay, good. You got what you needed. Slightly distorted at times. Peak. That might be because I turned the mic up. There was an issue that couldn't hear the microphone. Let me just tweak it down a bit. Okay, that should keep it from peaking. Sounds like pentatonic. Yes, one of the pentatonic skills. Can you please do another recording on how to record MOXF8? This is for Bruce. Um, uh, the MOX is upstairs. That's in Studio B. What I can do is because I have sequence songs on there purposely. So that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed that keyboard. I can now sequence an entire song and direct a choir that I can have additional instruments playing. So I can cover that in a video. And can you also play those code on the flash? Right, I can cover that also. How to use the flash drive to actually, do I still have the flash drive I use? I have an old flash drive. Is this it? This is one of them. This is the 16 gig one. This is the one of the old flash drives that I still have that has MIDI files on it. I plug this in the back of the Yamaha MOX6 and I could pull in any of the songs I have there. It'll put all the songs in the track because I recorded them in general MIDI. It will go to the general MIDI patches, and then I can go in there and switch the voices to get the better sounds from the keyboard. And then again, it's a little bit endearing, but you can go in and actually do some editing too. Thought I had the other old drive here. I don't like to throw away electronic stuff. I have a stuff drawer. Everybody, musicians, has a drawer full of stuff. Some of the stuff I need to just throw out. I don't see the other. Because I would duplicate the drive so that if I lost one, I knew another one would have the same files on it. Okay, so that one must be sitting somewhere else in my stuff area. Yeah, I have upgraded drives. I haven't even used them all. These are the 32 gigabyte drives that I also have. This is an 8 gigabyte. When I started, no, this is 16 gigabyte. The other drive was an 8 gigabyte. That's what I'm looking for. I don't see it in my stuff drawer. Technology has come a long way. This is a 32 gigabyte flash drive that I use for camera work. So yes, I keep stuff. Let's see. So I'll maybe I'll look at that tomorrow. Usually, what happens is on Sundays, I'm in Studio B because I'm listening to the church services as I float around the internet. And if it's a good song, I'll key up the keyboard and start playing with it to find the chords they're using. And that's when I'll shoot a video there also later on during that day. So I'll put that in my mind to do. Okay, so what's happening in jazz band? I never attended. Okay, the jazz. Okay, that's the jazz band. Yeah, Thomas Whitfield had chords. Even still, some of his chords, I still can't do. That's how tremendous he was, and his touch on the piano. Timeline for me, was I remember, is spirituals, gospel, blues, and country, jazz, and R&B. Carlos Torrance would play in juke joints and bring in some of that to churches. Yeah, they again, Tommy Dorsey was a jazz musician who came to church. People didn't, from what I understand in conversations that I've read and have heard in conversations, that they didn't want his music played in churches because it sounded too bluesy. Too worldly was the word they used in my day. But now, Precious Lord Take My Hand is considered a national treasure. Now, go figure. Every Praise by Hezekiah Walker, although someone else wrote that song, that is a takeoff of a rock song. Every praise is to our God. Every word of worship with one accord. If you listen to those notes and you go, what is it? Every Step I Take, I think it's the song. I'm not sure who wrote it. But the same chords. Just he added words to it that follow that pattern. Just going through the comments that I wasn't doing. No, Greater Love, Galilee Baptist Church. Those chords were me church chords. Those were jazz band for the 80s. Later they made it to R&B. Okay. The Yamaha mix. This is the last comment by Bruce. The Yamaha mix. Oh, do you like the mix? You mean mixing music in the Yamaha? When I was active in the church, I did, because it allowed me to recreate songs that in a way that that I could appreciate. I don't know if you've heard already. I believe I did post it on my channel. I mixed the song "God Will Take Care of You," the Hawkins version, on the Yamaha MOX6, and I just recorded or uploaded the patch of that entire song onto my other studio, which I use, where I use Studio One, and I added the AI vocals to it. See if I can bring that up. I'm allowed to do that because it's on my channel. You can't come at me for pulling up something on my channel. Let's see. Let's go to my channel. Now, I did add organ to it, but the majority of the song is mixed on it's a sound, sounds are mixed on the MOX6. Let me see. God Will Take Care of You. Okay, why is it not showing up? If I spell it correctly. There it is.
Strength training, now at a new level.
I'm gonna let you
Gym Monster.
What I mixed, and I should be able to let you see the Let's see if this is still working correctly. Yes, it is still working correctly. Still can't see me though. This is off of my channel. My mix of God Will Take Care of You. And the music primarily came from the MOX6.
Workouts you can do in the gym.
All that music you're hearing is from the MOX6 in the mixer.
Be not dismayed, whatever betides, God will take care of you. Beneath His wings of love abide. God will take care of you. God will take care of you. Through every day, come what may, He'll see you through.
All mixed on the keyboard first.
God will take care of you.
And yes, there was dropout because so many notes were being keyed in.
God will take care of you.
All that you need, He will supply. God will take care of
wanted to bring that to a close because I saw the comment about double sound. I was trying to see where it could have been coming from, so I was shutting off some of the other links. But yes, that is all. That music was keyed into a Yamaha MOX6. There was some dropout because I played such full chords that it couldn't keep up with all the chords I had, so I had to scale back on some of it. But you have eight tracks or 16. I think it was 16. Yes, 16 tracks in which you can work with, and you could use the actual sounds in the keyboard, which is why you hear such a clean bass sound, a clean drum pattern. I'm not a very good key drummer. I think I was recently figured out the way to import the drum patches into that mixer. But that keyboard helped me to transform the music that I was playing in the church I was in to a studio hall, because I'd play through stereo speakers with a nice deep bass speaker, and the church would rock when I would use that keyboard, which I later upgraded to the Korg, which you see behind me. That's the Korg Chrome, which became my next keyboard because it had 88 keys versus 61, and still did the same thing. But I never really recorded anything on its tracks. I think I started to do stand, but I'll use that more for the 88 keys and much deeper, richer tones that I could get out of it. Again, this music thing for me was about, if I'm going to do it, let me bring in the correct equipment and let me learn how to use that equipment to be able to give the correct presentation of music. I want to make sure I'm current with the comments, because again, I can get trapped into playing music and not put the comments in front of me. I see we have 13 watching. Again, let me welcome you to Sound of Joy Music Services. This is a love of mine to be able to share not only the gift of music, but how you can actually, as a musician in learning, be able to enhance what you're doing by being mentored or instructed. I don't quite use the word teach, because I was never taught how to play piano, but I was introduced to the sound of music, and then when I sat down to the piano, with the help of chord books, was able to learn what I was not taught. I had to get a chord book that showed me how to finger the scales correctly. I got another book to show me how to the correct placement of your fingers when playing chords, the 1, 3, 5, and not 1, 2, 3. And what I mean by that, let me just change my screen. When I didn't have an instructor to tell me this is the proper way to play this chord, as you see the 1, 3, and the 5, I didn't have an instructor. So I played it like this, or I played it like that. That's how I trained myself. This is the correct way. Now, is it wrong to play it this way? No, because for me, I wanted to be able to hit all these notes. So you can't do this doing this. You have to leave one note. I wanted the octave, and I wanted to do this. So as my hands grew, and I could make that reach, then I learned how to use my other fingers to get the other notes. But without an instructor to slap my wrist and tell me that's the incorrect way to play that chord, I was spared that knowledge. So now I could do this, where if I had to do it like this, I'd be getting uncomfortable. But in my way. So what I do is I make sure that when I instruct the right way. Why? Because I don't want someone being held back by learning something from me that was incorrect. It may be correct for me, but incorrect for someone who's just learning how to play. So that's the correct way. That's the correct way to play these scale chords. As you get more proficient, then you can change it to what's comfortable to you. Or because I like to be able to do that so I can come to here. Because it's always good to learn music the correct way first. Let me move my comment window closer to me on the screen. There we go. With this software that I'm having you using now, I can drag the windows. Okay, so now I got the comments much closer so I don't miss anything. Make sure I didn't miss out any of the song requests. We did all of his hands. And as far as adding jazz chords to a gospel song, again, because they're so married together, I would say if you wanted to add jazz songs to a hymnal type song, a lot of churches are still singing "Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior." The original key is in A flat or G. I'm like, well, that's way too high. I like it down in F. But if you want to do it in well, let's call it key of F. "Pass me not, O gentle Savior." It is already in the pentatonic scale. That's the pentatonic scale. Which lends to the jazz tone. All jazz movements. Whole tone scale. So they were using the jazz tones back in my day. Pass me not, O gentle Savior. Here, my 6, 7, 1, sharp 1, 2, sharp D2, 3, 1, 4, sharp 4, 5, 3, minor 6, major 6, walk it up 6, 6, 7, sharp 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stay in the 5, 1, 3, sharp flat 3, 5, 4, 3, flat 3, 2, 1. I'm just looking at the keys to see what number system they would fall into. But those chords are your jazz chords. Savior, Savior, diminished, hear my. There's a nice jazz turn. Bull cry. Flat 7. No, flat 7, no, flat 6. Why? Again, my whole tone. Other than art calling, do. the gospel turnaround. 3, 4, 5, 5, 1. And I've heard people play "Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior," and they drag the song. And I'm like, okay, you dragged it in an era where the musicians did not have a palette of rhythmic patterns to pull from. I've never dragged "Pass Me Not." It's always been 2, 3, 4. Me not, O gentle. I got a rhythm going on in my head. Hear my humble. Gotta walk up. Get ready. One another thou art. Pass me by. It's always have a waltz jazz feel, because that helps the people singing it to get more into the song versus "Pass me not, O gentle Savior, hear my humble cry." And they drag the song while another thou art calling. Then they do this. Pass me. Now, which one is going to give more life to the song, and especially to those who will be singing it? That's how I always approach music. Make it sound joyful. Make it sound energetic. If I have to play it that slow, then it's going to have a stride. Hear my humble. Not pass me by. Turn it chord. Not pass me. Change the key. D? Yeah, D. E. And hit in my head first. Pass. Finish it off on the 5. I'm not a singer, but I can hear notes correctly. Bye. Give me the E. The D rather, E, and then G flat. But finish with a D flat over G flat. You have to know what it sounds like before you play it. And once you get that trapped into your mindset, you can call it out before you actually play it, because you already know what it's going to sound like. Looking at the comments, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Let's go back into conversation mode. Getting used to this new software. Are there any questions? Because again, I don't hate to keep people on the channel. I have nothing else planned. That's why I always give an opportunity for those who are viewing part of the chat to ask for a song. This hopes to add to the I call it an actual podcast. It's a actual live setting. I have more ideas in scheduled to help beginner musicians once I can get a handle on who they are. And most times I can tell when they're asking for me to put certain songs in certain keys. I always wonder, is it because you're more comfortable in that key? Let's try to figure out to get you uncomfortable in another key, and then teach you, or I'll use teach then, how I became comfortable and unfluent in any key. Wash Me Over Again, is that the Timothy Wright song? Because I did that for, who did I do that for? One of my Patreon members. And I created a AI singers for that one. Let me pull up the AI singers. And let's open, because I have quite a few songs already done in the can, you might say, as I am preparing to release music with the AI singers. Wash Me, there it is. Wash Me Over Again. And I put 3-part harmony with it too. Let's see if I can bring that screen in with the piano. Give me a chance to remap who has that. Yeah, we'll use this one. And we want to capture Wash Me Over Again. There we go. Doing some housekeeping so you can see the AI singers. In action. Let's bring that over here. Let's bring this. I'm just fixing the page where you're going to be watching this. Because this is a new service offering from Sound of Joy, creating singing tracks for musicians, either for practice or for training your own singers. All right, let's switch back to here, and there is the other training page I have under the old software. In the background, you see the AI track of Wash Me Over Again. Let me just route the audio to the mix. It's routed. And it should be in the key of the song. Let me listen to it and make sure it's coming over.
Wash me over again. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over again. Wash me over again. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over again.
Wash me over again. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over
All right. That's the entire track. Generally what I do is I loop it so that I could work on chords. And because it's in stereo, let me split the voices to the left and right. Let's go to Chordy app, put it in A flat. Okay. I try to modulate from G to B flat. I'm working on the modulation points. Oh no, that was in the key of A flat, but I can put it easily in the key of G. Very simple to put it in the key of G. Select and drag down. No, don't do that. Drag. Come on. Okay. Drag. Select everybody. Drag down one. Come in here. Select everybody. Drag down. So now it should be in G.
Wash me over.
Oops. Thought I did the first guy. Didn't do the first guy. Down half a step to G. Come on.
Wash me over again. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over again. Wash me over again. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over again.
Oh, I got it right.
Wash me over again. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over again.
Now start a loop on it.
Wash me over again. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over again. Wash me over again. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over again.
Wash me over again. Wash me over again in your precious blood. Wash me over again in
So with the power of AI vocals and programming, it is not just playing a note, attaching a word to it, and then it sings. You've actually got to program punctuation, breath marks, everything that a singer would do to be able to articulate a sung lyric. That is one of the things that I offer now for 2025 with Sound of Joy, and you'll be seeing ads coming up on this channel to market myself with the ability to create or to recreate. And I'll try to keep it with the traditional music. I won't go after, I'm not going after Kirk Carr or Kirk Franklin songs. Now, I could. I think I did do, just as a test, more than anything. Now, when I put it on the channel, I got a copyright notification that song belongs to somebody. So that lets me know that I did a good job in recreating how that song would sound with AI singers, which means I can put it in any key from a practice standpoint. You see that image of the African American Heritage Hymnal? That is to show that I'm going to be highlighting some of those songs as lessons also. In fact, I've done 3 of them, I believe, already on the channel, the different page numbers where you can go to it. I think Bless the Lord, Oh My Soul, the very first song in that string of songs, is next on my agenda to recreate the vocals for that and to show the original chords and what the jazz chords or contemporary chords you can also add just to that vocal or those vocals. I guess the easier question is the inversion of the fifth in the tone of the last change. What voicing would you use? Fifth tone in the last key change. What key are we talking about? Inversion of the fifth in the tone of the key change. Oh, for the key change. Oh, that's the easiest thing in the world to do. I did a whole series on that, how to go from one key to the next. You have to think of what the scale degrees, number 1, that you're in, and then go to the 5th chord in the key change. So if you're in G, you want to go to A flat. The key change is going to be the 5th note in A flat. Hold this note at the top because that's your transition note. Now you're ready to go to A flat. If you want to go to A, hold this note. Now you can go to A. If you want to go to B flat, hold this note. The 5th note in the A flat scale, B flat scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your 5th note, and you're right there. And it goes for all keys. Easiest thing to do. If you were in high school or in public school, like I was, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, when they would do assembly, they would have to give you 2 tones in order to stand or to sit in assembly. It was usually a 5 and a 1. 5 meant get ready, 1 meant sit. 5 meant get ready, 1 meant stand. I remembered all this from when I was sitting in class and hear the teacher, who was usually a nice woman, nice thin woman sitting at the piano. That's what she would play. And that was a indication of get ready, either stand or sit. So when I would go back and practice, I'd go, which is a circle of fourths too, or 5th, backward is 4th. forward is the fourth. Backward is the 5, forward is the 4th. Backward is the 5, forward is the 4th. Now, so let's stop that. Once you understand the theory behind the scales, because that's all it is, scale notes and then the chords associated in that scale, it becomes that much easier to look at G and I want to go up to A flat. And you'll find your way around it. All of them, picking and choosing how many chords you want to use to go from here. But the easier way to accomplish it. Hey, welcome, Busby. Oh, thank you. The easier way for you to do it is, let me see. In the fish, that is over again. Walk up. Wash me over again. Walk right into the chord. So wash me over again. Wash me over again. So you can walk right into the scale. There's your chain. Wash me over. Go minor, major, diminish, or 7th, minor, diminish, major, jazz 7, major 7. E, D, A, C sharp to F minor, E, stay in the E, A7 over A. There it is. Again, this is the half tone. Microphone blocking my eyes, so I'm not seeing the chords. Wash me over again. Now you can go right to that F or G flat 4 B flat. Wash me. Oh, now here you want to get again, because you almost have to play like you're an actual singer. jazz. Da-da-da. Okay. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Higher. Da-da-da. F7. Look, now you get gospel jazzy. That's seventh note. Now the there it is. Diminish up. Blood. Now wash me. Oh, turn around again. There it is. Minor, flat, A flat. Your half tone. With that precious love. Wash me. Oh, tension. When you start incorporating the jazz moves into a song, it's always going to be subtle because you want the listener to be listening to the lyrics first, but then you're always going to catch that one person that's going to get that. And go back to the song. Wash me. A nice jazz turn on the 2. Your sus chord. And have that add 2 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. That's the add 2. Or that's from not being trained properly. All the things I wanted to be able to play, I wanted to know, can I get my hands in position to play them? And in the other direction. Yep, that's the path. The top note is the top note is in the key of the key you're going to go to. Now, the trick comes is, what if you're in G and you want to go to B flat from G? You can go just straight to the F7 to get to the B flat. What if you want to take a path? Think of the circle of fourths. 1, 5. Let me see. 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4. So that means that's the path you can take from G. And now you're in the circle of fourths to the B flat. You can get to all the keys using that same concept. You just have to know how you want to get to there. If you're in G and you want to get to the key of D, well, what keys does D and G share? They share A. Now you're in D. 2, 5, 1. That's where the jazz terminology comes in for progressions to get you to where you want to go. If you're in G and you want to go to B major, what notes do G and B major share? Look at the scales. They share the C sharp. No, they share the F sharp. And of course they share the B. So G only has this note and just this note. So if you're in G and you want to go to the key of B, go to F sharp and circle of fourths. 1, 2, 3, B. That's why you hear. Let me see. There's the from G though. Go to the note that they share in common. Go to that fifth there in that chord, and now you can go to B. And that goes for any key you want to go to. Look for what's common in the scale notes first, and then what's common in the actual particular chords. If you're in G and you want to go to F, G to F was what? No, to C. 251, 251 from G. That's too easy. If you wanted to go to F sharp from G, well, that's just half a step down. Or you can go. There we go. But no one ever goes down. They always go up. But it is possible using theory and then using the understanding. You got to use all of it. You just can't use scales. You got to use the circle of fourths. You got to use the inversions, the 2-5-1 progressions. Which ones would help you, assist you in getting there as cleanly as possible? And again, the quickest way is just go from one note to another note. That's the quick way. But it's so much prettier when you can go this way from G to E flat. But they share the same note. 2-5-1, 2-5-1. Then if you want to get back to G, what you want to do is go from G. You want to take, well, you can go straight there, or you can go, let's see, this would be A, E, D rather, and to G. I'm looking at 3 chords to get there. That may be a classical way of doing it. Two, 5, 1, or if I want to get to C sharp, D flat. What do they share together? They don't share A flat. That's the way of getting there, though. Okay, different pattern to get there. We could go. Okay, they do share the G flat or the F sharp. Yeah, I've never done from G to there before. Let me see. Well, could go there. Go to the E flat, to the A, follow the circle of fourths, and then that's going to take me to the D flat. Again, these are changes that normally would not be used, but in the case you had to, if you're writing your own song and you wanted to maneuver a way around the keyboard because he got into put you into more comfortable keys, that may be the way to actually doing that. Oh, welcome, G. Albert. Yeah, I'm impromptu again. I'm trying to establish Saturdays as viewer request podcast. Now that I got the better software running, I can offer more looks at what I'm doing. Of course, I now have to play with the YouTube copyright notifications when I do play a song in it, but they give me an out. I can actually mute the song later on if I want to keep the stream monetized, and I'm working on other ways to not have to worry about that anymore. If you're not on my Patreon, that's where I'm going to be doing a lot of videos like this for the Patreon site. I think Patreon is working on having a live function, so I'll be investigating that over the next couple of weeks to see if they're still going in that direction. I am also on Rumble. I do have a Rumble. I haven't used it, but Rumble I don't think is as copyright in playing music in the background. I don't think that they're as strict on it. So I'm going to pull up my Rumble site again and probably do a live stream there and probably stream it to YouTube at the same time and get them all upset. So there's so many things I've got planned that I needed better software to be able to accomplish that. Not on Twitch, but I am on Rumble, and who knows what other new software platforms may be coming up to allow me to do a lot more and to be monetized while I'm actually doing it. Again, want to thank those who have been watching from Facebook. Of course, you're welcome to come to the YouTube channel where you can make requests. Yeah, Ecamm. I've actually took some of the things I was doing on Ecamm and brought them into my OBS. I created this page. I got jealous that Ecamm had features that I did not incorporate into OBS. This is an OBS page. See Sound of Joy Live. That overlay will be brought over into Ecamm. I just didn't do it this time, but that's one that I created. I figured out how to, using the PGN. Actually, I had to create the page, select the whole page, copy it, and then create it as a new page, and then it cut out the background, so it kept whatever images I put in there. Again, I've had the capability of doing this all along. I was just lazy because I was doing so much music. But I would look at other people's pages and I go, well, gee, maybe it's the software. That's why they're getting all these nice looking overlays. And no, they're paying someone to create them. And I had to remember the reason why I don't pay anyone is because I know how to do it if I put my mind to it. So this overlay that you're seeing right here is one I created 2 days ago. I put and I looked at someone else's site and I said, gee, I like the way they have the YouTube button there. Not the same one they have, but I said, I want a YouTube button along with a banner and my logo, company logo at the top. But this is currently on the OBS software, which I am using the virtual camera to show what's on the OBS. So not as cluttered. Yes, I got a cluttered background there. I forgot to clear off the that sheet music thing there. But those plaques you see in the back, those are plaques that I've received from the different churches that I've played for over the years. Again, I want to always have thankful that I was allowed to serve in more than just one ministry. This way I wasn't just being burned out. I guess you might say whichever one burned me out the most, that's when I moved to the next one. But they still appreciated the fact that I did not take advantage of them as a musician. I didn't ask for a demanding amount. Whatever they were offering, that's what I took based upon the workload that I was required to do. And then I always gave them much more than that. So yeah, that's the coming overlay that's going to be on the page for Ecamm. And yes, I did learn how to lock it, so now it just stay in place. I just had to go and click lock. I said, oh, there it is. So now I can move it around and it's going to stay locked in place. I learn. I truly do. Everything that I'm able to do here in this space where I'm at right now is from getting an understanding of what the software is and then going to where I see others using it, and especially those sites that allow you, that they teach you just like as I do, they also teach me. And then, of course, if anyone is going to venture in this direction, I will be able to give some first-hand knowledge of what not to do and what to do to be able to present to yourself in a way that people will enjoy watching. And I feel my stomach growling, and I did eat today. That's strange. That's growling. I'm probably thinking, oh, we have 18 in the room. I want to thank those who are watching. As I often say, I never get an opportunity to um, to thank everyone that comes in on any of my live streams, but I'm so thankful for it. Oh, and I have a new page which I said I was going to put in order. So of course, what does every YouTube content creator ask you to do? Yes. So I have that page now. I've had those videos probably for 6 months, but never took the time to integrate them into the yes, like, subscribe, and share. I gotta get comment in there too. I gotta find one that'll give me comment. I actually did I create that? No, I got that as a video, and I just overlaid it so that I can include it into these future productions. Oh, you were trying to write down. What were you trying to write down, Nelson? Nathan, what were you trying to write down? A couple of burritos. Yeah, I went to Taco Bell because I watched people go to all these places eating food. And I said, gee, they're eating all this food and they're doing videos and making a lot of money just sitting there eating food. Let me go try some of these things out. I went to this is just off the cuff conversation. I went to Five Guys because they talk about Five Guys. Yes, it was expensive, but to me, it was just a cheeseburger, and the fries were as soft could be. They say, "Oh, these fries are the greatest fries." To me, they weren't fried long enough. But I realized these people that do content creation for food, they're giving an audience a look into some of these places that they would normally go to. Yeah, I'm not going to comment, oh, I went there and I wasn't really satisfied. It was costly, yes, but I wanted to experience. I want to experience what they. In fact, I did my first food review at my granddaughter's birthday. Went to one of those Japanese restaurants or Korean restaurants where they cut up all the food in front of you. Because I watched so many food reviews, just to watch it, but then to see how are they creating this content. Because that may be an avenue I could do on another channel. That's what some people do. Some people have 4 and 5 channels doing different things. I'm looking to. I was going to do in fact, I still might do it. Have a channel that deals with look at all the junk you have. Because I've got so much electronics around here and boards and computers and printers. I said, gee, if I ever did a channel on what kind of junk do you have in your house, electronic junk, I could pull out 20 years of stuff. I have a computer I built 20 years ago. I won't throw it out because I built it. I don't use it because it still works, but I built it. I said, gee, I don't want to throw this out because I built it. I bought the parts and put it together and it works. It's got Windows Vista on it. So I might still do that as not on this channel, but I do have 2 channels. I have a separate channel which I was going to dedicate to the AI singers. That's why I'm doing another series of videos that I'm going to put on that channel to feature the AI singing, and for people can go and listen to songs that they used to hear in church. But I got so much junk. As I say, I have a drawer full of stuff here that every time I get something that I think I'm going to use, this is for plugging into my iPhone, and it has what for a. Let me see, got it right here. This is why I bought it, so I could transfer files from a disk into my iPhone. And I haven't used it yet, but I have it. This is the junk. This is the junk I talk about. So I'm looking at doing this is the way it's supposed to look. Where's my iPhone at? Oh, it's charging. I'm supposed to be able to plug this into my iPhone. Open it up, and I should be able to view. You can't see it because I got to hold it this way. They allow you to view files that you could plug in. Let's see, where's the files? It's an XR iPhone. There we go, files. Okay, so I'm supposed to be able to browse and look into this. Okay, I don't see it. Maybe it don't work. Or I don't know how to look into it. Oh, there it is. It is there. And there go the files. I'm looking at the files that is on this. So I know it does work now. In fact, there's a video on it that I did of organ chords. That's on this. Of course, I messed it up trying to play it. But I know it does work. So yes, what do you have in your... What junk do you have around the house that you purchased for a reason and you never started to use it? So now I know it does work. Still got the wrapping that it came in. But it's there for a reason, that if I ever wanted to take some files that I'm doing on the computer and take them with me on my iPhone or my iPad, because I think my iPad's... No, the iPad doesn't use that. The older iPad uses that connection. I'm able to do that. Because I probably saw it somewhere and I said I want one, and I got one. I got it. I was writing your chord changes. Oh, okay. Hey, welcome, Terrell. So that's what, when we go through life. Again, this is, take these headphones off because I'm not playing. When we go through life looking at how other people are living, and we go, well, gee, I wish I could do that. I wish I can do that. I was never an I wish person. I was always, if I want to do that, what do I need to know to be able to do that? As a youngster, 14 years old, I wanted to get my first job. Well, in New York City, they allowed you to get a working permit. So I got my working permit, and then I went to the local supermarket. I walked in myself. No one took me because, again, I'm sort of a stubborn person. If I put my mind towards something, I'm going to do it, and I don't need anybody's help to get me there. I'll figure it out. But I went there to go get hired. The guy says, well, I know you got working papers, but we only hire from the age of 16. Well, I felt so bad because here I am. I'm ready to work. I'm 14 years old. I want to work. It wasn't about, let's go out and play basketball, play baseball. In my case, it was stickball or ride the bikes or skateboarding. I wanted to go to work at 14. So when I turned 16, guess where I was? At a different supermarket, and I got my first job at 16 years old. I became their best worker. But during that time frame, I was also in high school learning how to repair radio and TVs, because my father had his own radio and TV business. He thought I was going to continue the family business. But I had other ideas. I was so involved in the knowledge of learning about how to work on computers and computer programming, I set myself up to go to Control Data to learn how to program computers using punch cards. I'm now dating myself, but just to give you the mindset that I carried over into learning how to play piano. Then I signed up for a community college to learn computer science because I was graduating a year early. I skipped the 8th grade, went from 7th to 9th, and then got into a vocational technical school, which was easy to do because my father had his own business fixing televisions and organs and sound systems and washing machines, and he made sure that if he worked, everybody worked. So I had these in my hand at the age of 9. He would say, give me the Phillips screwdriver. I better know what the Phillips screwdriver looked like. Give me the 1/4-inch spin tight. I better know what a 1/4-inch spin tight. Give me them pliers. I had better know what pliers look like. Otherwise, you got yelled at. That was again my day. So I knew again I keep all this stuff here because it's all in my past, but it helped to form my future at that stage. I did not know that in high school, after taking a 3 hour exam, the IBM Corporation would be coming through asking anyone in the vocational high school, if you want to get a job with IBM, come to this room in the basement and take another 3 hour exam. What they called it? It was a test, because they wanted an aptitude test. Out of the 30 people in the room, only 2 of us passed, and I was one of the 2. 48 years later, I was retiring from that time of being a technician, being trained at that time was the number 4 or 5 major corporation in the world. Here I am at 17 years old, newly turned 17 in April, hired by IBM in July of that same year, and lasting 48 years in that industry. But during that time, I was also learning to play for a church and learning all these songs, having 6 choirs to play for, married with children. And this year will be my 48th year of marriage. Yes, the wife and I did have issues. Again, I see a lot of videos with people talking about relationships. Yes, it wasn't easy, but I'm a very stubborn person. I told my wife, you can find somebody better than me, leave. Well, 48 years and she's still here. There must be a reason why she didn't go. But I was determined that if I stood there and said, till death do us part, the only way I'm leaving is in a pine box. If you want to go, we'll do it. We'll deal with what we have to deal with. You find somebody better than me, you can go. She's still around. And we take care of each other in our aging state. But that's all the relationship stuff I'm going to talk about, because nowadays, I said, if I ever had to get into the world of seeking somebody else, I'm going to stay. As Paul said, if you can remain single, do that, because you can better serve when you don't have the responsibility of another person. But the music was always not an outlet, but my passion and my love. I wanted to be able to recreate everything I could hear musically. And I've been able to do that in the religious world. I often say, if I had a chance or an opportunity to go to Juilliard here in New York, or to what's that place up in Boston everybody goes to, it'll come to Berkeley up in Boston, that I would have done well there, because I would have had the mindset, the correct mindset, and the discipline. But because I did not have formal training, I wasn't scouted out by anyone, and they say, hey, listen to this guy, this kid, this teenager, this young adult. And that might be a good thing in some respects, because I may have missed out on some detriments that may have, they say, pitfalls in life. You never know where you would have been if you hadn't gone there. So I've done well so far. And as you can see, I'm still enjoying not only playing the music, but demonstrating how I approach it, and then giving you the blueprint that I've had. And now doing, yeah, my stomach is growling, and doing some of these things online. I've got to put an intermission page up on here so that I can drink water. Let's see who I can pick from. I want to take a big swig of water, and I don't want to be disrespectful in doing it. So what I'll let you do is this. Okay, got a big swig of water doing that. I'm going to create an ad page with music on it that I created with the AI singers, so I can have one of those intermission type pages, so that if I need to, as they say, make a quick run, I can be able to do that. I do watch other content creators that actually do that too. I'm learning. I am learning, and my intent is to get better each time you see me go live. Are there any questions I could possibly answer? Again, I'm thankful for those that have stayed. I thought there were 19 in the room, but there's actually 19 likes. How many are in the room outside of those of you who have commented? I don't see that count. Okay. I'm sure it's somewhere. I've just got to find out where they put it in Ecamm. Oh, I've got sound effects too. Or if I want to do the air horn. Am I going to be using this stuff? I guess if I do other types of live streams, I'll create my own type of sounds. What's another one I can? Oh, this one. Notification type of stuff to let you know what's coming up or to just to have some fun with this online podcasting world now that I've got the better software. I think you should see it there. Ecamm Live logo is there because I'm not paying for the software yet. I'm in the trial mode, but I'm more than likely I am going to invest and pay the monthly subscription for the software so I can get all the benefits of it. I would like to be able to have to bring people on to talk about gospel music, to talk about music learning, just to have the actual conversation and have people to chime in. Just going back over the comments to make sure I did not miss anyone. Well, let me. Yeah, I'm now hearing I'm actually monitoring on my iPad. It takes about a minute for it to get to me. So I know that it goes through their system in order before it gets to you. That time delay, which is good. So let me thank Andrew who came in, Robert, JC Introductions who gave us a super chat. Thank you. Chaplain's Advanced School. Thank you for being with me all these years. Sometimes I look at the YouTube comments and there's an indicator that they put on the comments. So I say, what that indicator means? So when I highlight it, it says 10-year or more viewer. I'm like, wow. I mean, 10-year or more subscriber. So I'm like, wow, someone has been there back in the early days when the videos really looked bad and sounded bad. You stayed with me all those years. Nathan, Dre Drizzle, 28, our Austrian viewer, Brother Mitchell from Tennessee. I believe you guys have had snow over there. MO Music Academy, Alvin J. Of course, Nathan, Smooth Keys. He's another long time viewer, and I do get new. I get new analytics on my YouTube analytics page. How many times have viewers left comments? And I think Smooth Keys is the highest as far as comments go. So I appreciate that, because as you comment on a YouTube stream, the algorithm looks at that and says, well, if people like it, which is why you push for the like and the subscribe, they'll push the video or my videos on other people's feeds, and you'll just pop up. Oh, Micah, I missed your request. Can you high to heaven? High to heaven. Who's that by? Let me shut down the AI singers. Yeah, don't make any changes. High to heaven. Who is that by? Okay, there it is. Excuse me. Wow. Forgive me. High to heaven. No, that's not the song. Or did you mean highway to heaven? You may have meant highway to heaven. It's a highway to heaven. None can walk up there. Excuse me, but the pure in heart. I know it takes a while for. Yeah, I'll go with highway to heaven and not because high to heaven did not come up. Highway to heaven popped up. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's what you meant. Let's switch the screen because Highway to Heaven is one of those traditional songs. Did I do that one for my AI singers? Did I do that? Excuse me, I think I may have done that. Highway to Heaven, none can walk up there. It's ringing a bell like I did do it. Let me just check I can check in the folder rather than bringing up the program. Do. Let's see what we got. Nope, I didn't do it. Why? Maybe another song that has the same pattern. One of the earlier songs as I was learning the software. Just making sure. I may have named it differently. It's not walking up to, no. Why don't I see? Did I put it in here? No. I'll make sure I didn't call it King's Highway. Alright, I'll just play it. It's a highway to heaven. None can walk up there but the pure in heart. A flat or E flat? A flat sounds like that's where the sing would be. Or it could be B flat also. But since we're in the A flat mode already, then let's bring in a drum pattern, because these type of songs are congregational. And it always sounds better with a beat. And let's set the beat. Give me a chance to program the beat speed. Not too fast. impromptu. Always want to look the way when you're doing it, like, especially congregational songs is a form of jazz. 2, 5, but the pure in heart, Lord, it's a highway to heaven, walking up the King's High. Chorus. Left hand, pa. Pa. Walk the bass. Walking bass. This is the way I practice. Turn around. 2, 5, 1, 9. So what happens in testimony services that you have a free hand to do musically anything you want to do because you are supporting the singing. And the people who are singing congregational songs, they want this. They want to hear that. They want that jazz because that helps them in their 2/4, 2/4, 2/4, 2/4. This is straight jazz. It's a highway to heaven. Walking up the King's Highway. And that movement is James Bond. The James Bond chords. If you watch James Bond, the same chords. You'd be surprised how much you hear musically when you start to tear it apart and take it down to the scale level. All of a sudden, all these things that you've been hearing for years open up to you, and you, especially when you sit down at the piano, you go, wait a minute. Yeah, I use that, but if I did this, oh, wow. I used to do the Batman. The Batman theme. Let me see. Batman theme. Once I learned what they were doing, that's just chromatic notes and holding the lowest note. That's why I say the guy that wrote Baby Shark is still going to be a billionaire, because he just put two notes together. Three notes. That's all he did. But it captured children. And as a child, when I would listen to cartoons, that music captured me musically, to the point where I ran to the piano and didn't have no clue how to find out how to play it. But it never left here. It's still there. Let me see. Peter Gunn. Never practiced it, but in my head I can hear the notes and I go, okay, where are they? What scale are they using? Oh, they're going into a jazz scale. Gospel, no. But can it be approached to gospel? What do we used to do? Everybody knows what that is. Do that in the school, on the school piano. You have mayhem. You'd have mayhem. Just looking at my comments. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't move the screen over when I'm in this look at. No, don't do that. Oh, okay, to the early 2000s. Okay, now I see the comments I've been missing. Yeah, Highway to Heaven. 28, yeah. You're a special man. My school gospel music. I grew up listening to you. Figured it out just like you did. Minus the schooling or band or practice, which is why I'm like, oh, which I am like I am. Well, you will find out that apply the theory of music to what you know, what you've been practicing. That's the first thing that will open up. And then after that opens up, everything else will follow behind it. It wasn't until I got a book of chords that showed me what this chord was and what its name was. And then I listened to every song I heard this chord in. And then I would just practice just that chord on my own in every key, just so I could see the fingering, not just on one hand though, on both hands, so that I could figure it out. Nope. There we go. Because I wanted my left hand to be able to be an assist to a chord like this. The only way I can be able to do that is train the right hand and then train the left hand right after that. Let them both work on it together. Then add the lowest note, which is the note that brings all your chords together. Again, you can have open chords, let's say rootless chords like this. But without that lower note to really anchor it all together, it becomes just, I say, mindless chords. That's like you need a melody to support chords. You need a bass note to support the chord. No, melody. Chords support the melody. The lowest note supports the chords. So if you were doing, pick a jazz song. Autumn Leaves is one that people like to use. I've never really looked at Autumn Leaves. B flat, Autumn Leaves. I'm not going to think about it. Autumn Leaves. Oh man, I know it. I can't think of the melody. Autumn Leaves. Da 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 dum, da 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 dum. Da 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 dum, dum. There it is. Diminish. It's a simple song, but once you understand where it's going, a 4, but with a 2 bass, resolve. Da, 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 C, then the 4. Now we're going to turn that minor, that's important. Turn. Now you're going to turn it. Now I can hear it. I'm missing a note. Again, I'm not a jazz musician, but I can hear tunes. Minor, there it is. I can hear them. I can hear when I'm playing it wrong from my head. I can now involve. Now I've got a book of 500 jazz songs here. I've got it here. It's in my collection of books here. So if I really want to get into it the correct way, that's what I would do. Or go to a YouTube channel where someone is teaching it the correct way. But just to be able to hear it and map it out in my head, what doesn't sound right. I'm sure it's wrong. Never good on the runs because I never really start to practice on them. But that's what music is supposed to do. It's supposed to get you so intrigued that you want to figure it out. If you don't have an instructor, if you have an instructor, that cuts the time down to a minuscule amount. They'll slap your hands. That's the wrong note. But without an instructor, you're now relying on your own ability to hear what you hear. And then that's when you begin to hear beyond what you're hearing. That's when I can go here. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. I know it's going to go to the minor. Minor. F. No, A, G. That's why when I started learning the Thomas Whitfield songs, I got immersed in like, wait, I don't know those chords. Those are not the gospel chords that I've been indoctrinating myself with. When he started doing the chords like what's that song he did? Save to Serve. Got it wrong. D flat. I have to really go back and really study that one, because that's when I wanted to learn, because of how pretty it sounded, because it sounded like preacher chords. That may be one I may look at that one, Save to Serve, and make that a lesson, because of the pure jazz that was put into that song. I mean, I learned "Oh How I Love Jesus." That was easy enough. Tremendous musician, gone too soon. Of course, most musicians did not want to do "Let Everything That Have Breath Praise the Lord." Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Let everything that have breath praise the Lord. See, I love music. That praise. messed that chord up. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Da, da, hallelujah. There it is. To hear those chords. And the C, F, E flat, C, and you hear me do this on some of my songs when I'm playing. You hear me do. That's where I got it from. Everything that hath breath, praise the Lord. Okay, so I'm getting caught up now in playing these songs, which were part of my past that you don't hear anymore. There's a Paul Morton song that I've been working on for months. We Made It. I will never this level. Well, you have the advantage that I didn't have right now. YouTube. Not just me and my content creation, but all the content creators who touch on not just gospel music, but jazz sound. If you would go and, I want to say, I'm trying to think of the channel name because I'm subscribed to them. I think it's Open Piano. They have their website where they charge for their courses, but they do so much free on YouTube. I soak it in. When they begin to demonstrate the real piano jazz approach to music, and I go, okay, that's what I did not learn. That there is a rule to this, which is what you hear people like Thomas Whitford use. He uses a rule to it. And that's once I say, okay, once I learn the rules of the road of jazz, then I can go back to those very songs that I struggled with and go, okay, they are not following the rules or they are following it up to this point, and then they're going off of what they feel. That's when you do, that's called improv. And you see me do the improv. This is the rule. That's the rule. I change it. That's my rule. Because I could always hear musicians do, but they never will let me see how they did that. So I had to sit at the piano and go, how are they getting that sound and then getting to these notes? Not until I learned how to do the scale properly, that's the rule, the theory, then I could see how to let the thumb pivot. Depending upon where I want the next chord to be. And let the left hand come in at the very bottom. So now I can. All of a sudden now I had the rule, but now I could go outside of the rule. I can now throw in the jazz minor on a major. Because I know how to now pivot around the thumb. Pivot around the thumb. But once I learned the rule, which is the basics of playing scales, to do what? Not get monotonous playing the scales. Train your fingers how to move where you want them to go. Go minor. Go major. Go flat 7. There we go. The thumb is the thumb is the key to doing anything. This thumb, how am I looking at? This thumb. This is what is your key to moving around the keyboard. Where you position it lets you have notes up here or notes below. But everything has to pivot on the thumb. Not. That's 101. This is 102. This trains your hands how to learn independence. This trains your hand how to move across the keyboard. There's the thumb. There's the thumb. So now that you can do more than one octave, let that thumb come in there. Thumb, thumb, thumb. Most important fingers and your most important member of the fingers when you're playing piano or any kind of instrument that's like this. The thumb is king because it determines the root. You could do that too and leave it out. But try to do what you want to do without leaving the thumb out. And not just in the key of C, but in D major. I used to practice this, bouncing off with all the fingers. Okay, I've been talking too much. I'll go look at the comments so I don't miss anyone. So yes, don't worry about the level. Just build yourself where you are, and then build upon that. My building was listening to jazz music as an instrumentalist, and then going to the piano and trying to recreate that sound without knowing where the notes were. Then once I learned where the notes were, recreating the sound became easy. Kurt Carr wrote, "It's just as complicated as with your music." Oh, okay, that's the Paul Morton song. I've been playing 10 years and feel like I haven't accomplished anything. There's a post that I shared on my Facebook page for 2025 that I got from someone else. I want to see if that is still on. Did I save that in? Might be easier just to pull it up on my Facebook page. Let's see. I think I'm still live on YouTube. Good. I want to pull up this comment, which, here it is. Okay, let's go to here, and let's see if I can pull up this comment. Let's see if it'll let me pull it up. Share. There you go. All right. 6 things to do for a productive 2025 as a musician. This is kind of harsh. I will say that. This is kind of harsh. But as I read it, it is so true for today's musician. And I will read what it says. Number 1, set ruthless goals and stick to them. That's discipline. That's the kind of discipline that says, yes, I'm going to wake up this morning. Yes, I'm going to brush my teeth, wash my face, consume some liquid and some type of form of breakfast, be it a bun, be it cereal, but then I'm going to go and write out what I want to accomplish today. Define clear, measurable goals for your music career. Now, this is really for the top end musicians, but this will help you to look ahead and not worry about what happened in the past 10 years. What do you want to accomplish in the next 1 year, 2025? Break them into actionable steps and track your progress weekly. I say track your progress every time you sit down to practice. That's my approach that I would use, because that's how I did it. Every time I sat down to play, I had to be better than I was the last time I sat down to play. If you miss a deadline, you're slacking. Fix it. Again, this is really kind of ruthless, but this is for the musician that doesn't see growth in what they're doing because there's no one there to slap their wrists. I didn't need someone to slap my wrist. You couldn't tell me to get. You had to tell me to get off the piano, because that's how much I would stay there. Practice relentlessly. Daily practice isn't optional. Set a schedule and hit it. No distractions. Every missed practice is a missed opportunity to improve. Talent means nothing without discipline, and that is the most important thing you need to have as a musician is discipline. Discipline, discipline. Because that's what's going to have you, make you able to measure your growth. If you can only play in the key of C, fine. Be great in the key of C. Now go to D flat, not to D. D flat, C sharp. Become great in the key of D flat. That's what I did. I practiced not in the keys that were easy to me, but the keys that were the next one up. In some cases, I would go down. Number 3, cut toxic influences. So it wasn't about, let me go outside for me and play basketball. Generally, I had to work with my father when I was a youngster. So I could not go and sit on the organ, which we had in his TV repair shop, or the piano in the house, because it would be too late at night. But when I did not go out with him and I got to the organ and my brother wasn't on it, then I would go and I would practice foot pedals. I would practice chord changes. I would practice pulling out drawbars. I'd practice some of those sounds I hear on the television commercials without an instructor. Set a schedule and hit it. No distraction. Every missed practice is a missed opportunity. Talent means nothing without discipline. 3, or cut toxic influence. Eliminate people. Yes. You can't have friends when you're practicing. You can't. Because one conversation will lead to another, and before you know it, you don't feel like practicing because you're tired from talking. Habits or distractions that don't align with your goals. Where do you want to go? Me, I wanted to be songwriting. I wanted to do jingles. I wanted to create songs. I wanted to rearranging songs. This is as a youngster, but no one to give me a direction in how to do that. This includes late night, again, this is for an adult, late night parties, negative friends, or anything else holding you back. They're not helping, they are hurting. And yes, if I wanted to be a better musician, playing for the church held me back because I could only go as far as the music they allowed me to play. Even though I could have done anything musically, could only go as far. Jazz was a no-no, but I had to work around it by throwing in the chords as passing tones or what I call walk-up chords, just to put some more life into the singing. Invest in your growth. Stop looking for free shortcuts. Pay for that course, hire that coach, or upgrade your gear. If you're not investing in yourself, you don't really believe in your potential. I can't count how much money I've been spending in the last 25 years to get to the level where I'm at right now. It wasn't a lot of money. Like, I don't have a studio. I'm still in the basement I was in 25 years ago, but I still kept all of the software and the hardware and the computers and the outward gear and the cables that are no good right now. But each of those helped me get to where I am right now. I can look back on that stuff and say I couldn't duplicate what I'm able to do now because the software that those computers can hold can't match this software. But it all helped me in growing to what I'm doing right now. Some of the equipment I haven't even put into play yet. 5, be relentlessly consistent. Consistency beats inspiration every time. Post that content. Again, this is for the musicians who are looking to grow musically. What else we got here? Post that content, send those emails, release that music on schedule. These are for the, again, this is for me because I want to be able to brand my use of creating artificial intelligence singers. So that's what I've been doing over the past since August, posting them, showing where I started and where I am right now. See, nobody will care about your art if you don't put it out. Outwork everyone. That's the music industry doesn't reward mediocrity. There's always someone hungrier than you if you're not willing to work. Okay, so that was a general statement put out for on a site, a gentleman on Facebook that's been posting a lot of things dealing with music, chord charts, um, uh, patterns, different keys, trying to spark that flame underneath musicians who use the word that they're stuck. No, you're not stuck in a sense. You're just stagnant, which is different than stuck. Stuck means you can't get out. Stagnant means you're not in motion. You're just dragging it. And it's easy to drag if you've got no motivation. Nothing that says, even myself being here on YouTube, my motivation was to share everything that I've learned so that there's not another musician somewhere who does not have an opportunity to explore what their capabilities are. I think I've got 38,000 subscribers on this site in 18 years of being on YouTube. There are some sites that has over 100,000 subscribers and they've only been there for 8 years or less. Now, are they putting out a better product than I am? They're putting out a better presentation of that product. Because I go to their pages and I go, okay, I'm not doing that. I don't have templates around my face. They got a better microphone. I got just as good a keyboard as they're using, but they're using sounds I'm not using. Do I want to invest in Keyscape and pay what was it, I think $300 some or $400 for Keyscape when it's just a piano sound that I have on my keyboard that I paid? What did I pay for this? $2,600 for this keyboard, and I haven't used up not even a tenth, a 99th of the sounds that's on this keyboard that I have used, which is why I'm doing a series on use the keyboard you got. Don't worry about getting the latest keyboard when you haven't used what you have on your keyboard. How to go in there and tweak it to sound. But that's all these new keyboards are. The sound has been tweaked to sound a little differently than the next guy. But if you learn how to tweak it yourself, if I wanted to sound like a Nord keyboard, I'd have to go listen to a Nord keyboard's patch and then tweak my keyboard using my ear to match it. Now I have that same sound. Because again, it's just a wave form that's being vibration. Sounds is just vibrations. So if you ever heard my cousin play Richard Talbot, if you ever heard my cousin play Richard Talbot, you would say you don't want to listen to me no more. And we started off together as children. I think I've got maybe 6 or 7 years older than him because my father and my brother seemed to be in a race for children. My father had 8, my uncle had 7. Out of that group, my father had 5 boys, my uncle had 5 boys. Yeah, 5 boys. All the boys are involved in music. The girls sing a little bit. They don't touch keyboards, but all the musicians would always compete against each other, who could play what. Well, the top out of all of us is Richard. He's the top musician, because he studied Chick Corea's sound and all the other masters of jazz, where we were in the church playing hymns and spirituals and anthems. So he can outplay any of us at any time. I think I do have a clip of him on my YouTube channel. Let me see. For me, I want to be a better gospel musician, have sound better than when I started, but not sounding like the real church musician. Hey, Sway, how you doing? Welcome for coming in. The church sound has changed from my era. It is now more, I'll use the word programmed. They were not click tracks back in my day. They weren't stems being used in my day. They weren't layered keyboards, layering a horn sound over a string sound to give that quote unquote uh, worship atmosphere. That wasn't, it was piano and organ. That's all it was. Very rarely do you have a guitar player that could play more than actually three chords. But today it is more polished. I'll put it like that. That's probably a better word to use. To where if I had to play in today's world with a group of musicians, I'd have to pull back a lot of what I do and just sit in the mix. Where in my day, as you can see, I do the bass on the left hand and aux chords on the left hand also, and melody with the right hand along with chording. Because I had to be all of that to represent what that song sounded like. So I sound like a real musician. Churches where I actually performed in, but if I was doing jazz, I would have learned from a jazz musician, and I'd be a musician who plays jazz. So I'm a musician who played in church, because that's where I did 100% of my playing was for churches. Today's musicians are going on the road with other people. I have one second cousin who plays with 50 Cent. He's one of his musicians. So he'll be on the road for 3 to 4 months at a time, sending us pictures from Italy and from Spain and from Romania, playing with 50 Cent. And I'm like, you know what? You were just born at the right time, and you got the right connections. But that's what life is supposed to be about taking advantage of what's in front of you, provided that you're not being hindered by yourself, number one, or by other people. They say that mentality that no one wants to see you get ahead, which was some of the musicians that I ran across as a youngster. They didn't want to show me what they were doing, nor point to say, well, you need to go here or see this person. They gave me nothing. So I used this platform, YouTube, to at least give what I've been able to accomplish from listening to. Nowadays you have, I'm not the only port port on the ocean where you can go into and hear and visually see how to accomplish those things musically you desire to do. It's a labor of love, and labor being the first word. You've got to love to do this to the point to where you sacrifice even eating on time. What time is it? Goodness, how long have I been here? I know I made sure I ate before I came, but this is what it's all about for what it has been all about for me. Not just playing. I retired playing for churches. There are some reasons for that, which are good for me. Never negative. Always look for everything to be a good choice to make. And then now I can have the time to share with everyone and not just within one ministry. And yes, as I said, the sound of gospel has morphed into a professional brand. I could play 4 chords right now, and you wouldn't know what song I'm playing until you heard the melody. Then you go, oh yeah, you're playing that song, and I understand that's where the music world in the church is right now. I want to be able to build a foundation under musicians such as yourself. Welcome, Peace Music or CP Music. I want to build a foundation under musicians such as yourself that should the pendulum begin to swing back, you'll have a foundation in which to go to work from. If they call for a song you don't know, you can come to my site, punch it up in my search engine, and it just might be there. If they go back into the hymnal stage, where they want to turn to page 526 in that dusty old hymnal, you won't shudder to think, well, what is this song? What song can I pull out that they may go back to? What's an old hymn? Oh, would they pull that hymn out? Our God in Ages Past, that's a Methodist hymn. 3 hours. Thank you. I used to see with one of the other softwares I had, they would put up a counter. Because I'm on Ecamm, I'm not on YouTube. YouTube does give me a clock. Ecamm, I don't see a clock. I'm sure there's probably one there. I just have to search with all these panels that they open up. From C-Piece Music, my practice habits are terrible because of the amount of things that I have to do. That's what life will do to you. And if they're important, do them. I coach basketball and I'm exhausted by the time I get home to practice. Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm the young guy who was shorter than everybody else. So when I would go out there to see if I can get a game with basketball, they wouldn't pick me. They would always say, well, I already got my 5. I got my 3. And I just sit there and watch them play. Then when I got my first job working in the supermarket, I had enough to buy my own basketball. So I had the best basketball on the court, thinking that they would still pick me. They go, no, we got our 5, but can we use your ball? I said no. Told you I was a very stubborn person. If you're not going to pick me to play, you can't use my shiny new basketball. Well, can we use your ball? No. And then I just go to an empty court. I would love to take Highway to Heaven and learn it in every key. If you look at it as a jazz song and you just follow the actual pattern of it, let me see. 1, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, 4, 1, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 1, 3, 4, and I'm counting the bass. 5, 1, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, sharp 5, 6, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, 5, 1. Now I'm just counting what the actual bass notes are. And you just look at that as put the standardized notes around that and then build upon that. And I can show that as a demonstration. Let's pull the camera back over here. If you were to start in the key of C, Highway to Heaven, and this will go for any congregational song. 1, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, 4, 1, 2, 5. Stay in the 2, 5, 2, 1, 5, 5, 1, 3, 4, sharp 4. 4, sharp 4, and we'll go with a major 6, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, There's our transition to go to D flat, the same thing. 1, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 2, 5, 4. And this is for the walking bass. 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, 4, sharp 4, 5. Take it up. Major on the 6. 3, 4, sharp 4, 5. And go down again to the D. Right up the scale. 1, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 5, 3, 4, sharp 4, sharp to 6, 6, major, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, up, the same pattern. 1, sharp 4 with diminished, 5, go back down to the 4, 3, 2, walk up to the 5. Now you can go up to the 6, to the 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get inventive chromatically. Down 3, change your chord to the 4, sharp the 4 to the 5. Now go down to the 3 rather than the sharp in the 6. To the 6 now. Flat 7. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, flat. 6, 6, flat the 6, and the 5. 2, 5, 1. Now in E major. 1, 3, 4, chop 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Because the melody is always going to be in the scale, so you're never going to lose that. 3, 4, 2, 1, 5. Sharp flat to 5, 4, 3. I'm just trying to count. 4, sharp 4, 5, 2, no, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, sharp 5, no, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the 4, sharp to 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. That's in E. And then the F is right there, because you're going to go to the C. Now you know the pattern already. Jazz. I had to hear that in my head. The Hawkins turn. Seventh. And take to the G. But once you've got the melody down and you've got the patterns, a straight pattern, then you start building on that. And each time around, you just continue to build until you get comfortable in every key, just sounding like you did in the previous key. Because as you see, each time I changed the key, I got more and more comfortable as I was changing keys, because now I knew where I was going to go. I can now follow the pattern, but add a different turn to it. What's in G? E. King Highway. Now I'm in A flat, which is the gospel musician's key, is A flat. for me. None can walk up there. Dun, 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 dun. Now go to the A major. Your classical key. Diminish. Major. Major. 2, 5. 5. There it is. A is always the issue for me. I get comfortable in it. Then walk up there. F sharp. Minor. 7. F sharp. Think of C. B flat. Playing in B flat is like playing in F. And to the 6, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 2, 5, 1. Playing in B major is like playing in F sharp. A flat. A up. There we go. Now you're back to C. So it's a matter of discipline, number one. Getting comfortable in the pattern that you pick for that particular song, no matter what song it is, and then knowing what you can do in every other key, carry that along with you, and then add more to it. B major has always been a fun key for me because it makes me think A minor, F sharp, and C sharp when I'm playing in B major. So the same runs I do. Dun, 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 dun. 4. G, A, and B. Anyway, I've been here too long. Let me see the comments. Let me switch over. Here we go. Got the mouse now locked in the iPad again. Let it go. There it is. Yeah, I'm going to bring this to a close. Not that I want to, but I would like to release those who have been watching, who have been here, who will give me the respect to stay and not leave the stream. I've got to respect your time also. It's a Saturday, 6:40 p.m., 5:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know 28 is over in Romania, so I'm sure it's early in the morning. Not Romania, in Austria. I always keep getting, why do Romania keep coming up? He's in Austria, so I know he's in a different time zone. I'm probably into his Sunday already. So I do appreciate all of you who have come to spend some time with me. I'm going to be doing more of these streams. As I say, I am retired. I'm not working, but I do have some household concerns that I have to keep myself available for with the wife. Because, you know, we're all getting older, so we must be aware of where we are at all times, physically, and, of course, if she needs something done for her, I've got to be available. And willing. Well, willing is not an issue, but being available is. So there'll be, you know, sporadic times when I'll come on, but I will try to keep Saturday as a premiere time for viewer requests. This one, most people will be off and hopefully free. If not, you can always see the replay. I try to leave every video up and not try to offend YouTube to the point where they'll ask me to take a video down. If anything, they'll say, if you want to monetize it, you have to mute a sound that they may have heard from a recording that I may have aired. That's the most that I ever do, but I try to keep all the videos up. I believe I'm over 2,800 videos now, which is a lot for a channel of such as mine. Some channels have a lot more. They do a lot of other things, but for just music instruction, that's a lot. I think I'm the leader in that amount of videos out there. And I try to give content that's going to be also pleasing to listen to. So I thank you all. Certainly do hope that everyone is having as good a new year as possible. Of course, remembering those who are not. I probably will be viewing some more. Hopefully that they've been able to knock down a lot of those flames over on the West Coast. If not, then at least get the people safe. And then, as they say, the next day we'll be looking to see what needs to be done to secure life, liberty, and the pursuit of a better way of living in this changing world. Thank you all for watching. I don't have an outro yet, but I'm going to create one where I'll have music in it that won't be copyrightable. Probably with the AI singers, that's going to be encouraging. Stomach stop. I'll get some more water into it. But as I look to build this channel to the next level for me, and that next level is make it more entertaining, make it more engaging, make it more knowledgeable, sharing information, sharing techniques, and whatever I possibly can do. That's what I'm looking to do, to invest and grow. Thanks for watching Sam Tober Sound of Joy Music Services. I usually end with a song. Welcome, Jeff. You're coming in at the end. I guess going through 12 steps of Highway to Heaven will be the ending song. I won't put any more on there. Sort of keep people's eyeballs in to the very end. I've got to get back into doing the timestamps. I'll have to, again, that's be my discipline. Timestamp it so people can jump through all the talk and see what's going on. That I will be commissioning. Oh, there is a timer there. Now I see it. I'm looking at the top of my Ecamm screen. It says live 3 hours, 53 minutes, 47, 48, 49, and getting to 3 minutes and 54 seconds. That's it. It's probably there. I just did not notice it, but now I do. Thank you all. And yes, Ecamm does record every video that I make with them, so I will have this to put in my archives and cut up and turn into whatever I want to continue to share the moments of this live stream. Thank you all for coming in once again. Be blessed and have an enjoyable day tomorrow where you are in your house of worship or wherever you worship. Some people worship at Bedside Tabernacle. Yeah, there's a Be Right Back screen on my Streamlabs. I have Streamlabs also. But yes, I'm going to do a Be Right Back screen also and put some music behind that. Again, I keep saying put music behind it, and I have the music already done. All I got to do is just post it onto any screen that I do. But yes, that is on my plate to help give a better presentation. And I'm probably going to eat more before I get on the stream also, or cut the streams down. And as I often say, if I don't stop talking, I won't stop talking. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. I can take you out with this screen. Be blessed.